Alright, so what's good, YouTube? It's Devin here, tuning in here with the video, aka with the Kingdom Chats. And throughout this specific video, I want to go into vanity and the vanities that is life that can distract you from the Most High's God word, right? And before I get into this video, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to the Most High, Yahweh, in the name of His only begotten Son, Yahweh Shah Mashiach. And as I go throughout this video, I got all my precepts and stuff lined up over here. So that's what I'm gonna just do. Go off the precepts that I got lined up. And through the Spirit, if the Lord got me going to other precepts, for different points and pointers, I will most definitely bring those out. But overall, I want to go into vanities and vain things that would distract you from the Most High's word and stuff. So first thing first, I want to go to the book of 2 Kings, chapter 17 and verse 15. Right, 2 Kings, chapter 17 and verse 15. Right, and vain things in this life today is literally everything. Like, this life that we live in right now is vain, right? Meaning things are temporal and they really don't hold value. Like, a lot of things in this life is temporal and it doesn't hold value, right? So I'm gonna hold 2 Kings. I want to go to the book of John, right, to help y'all understand. Because the reason why I say that a lot of stuff in this life today is vanity is because everything will perish when the Lord sent His only begotten Son back. Right, when the Lord revealed His Son to the world in the last days. Right, so this is the book of 1 John chapter 2 and verse number 12. It says, I write unto you, little children, because your sins are forgiven you for His name's sake. I write unto you, fathers, because ye have known Him that is from the beginning. I write unto you, young men, because ye have overcome the wicked one. I write unto you, little children, because ye have known the Father. I have written unto you, fathers, right, because ye have known Him that is from the beginning. I have written unto you, young men, because ye are strong, and the word of God abide in you, and ye have overcome the wicked one. And it says in verse 15, it says, love not the world, neither the things that are in the world. If any man love the world, the love of the Father is not in him. Right, so the Lord is letting us know, right, don't love the things of this world. Why did the Lord say that? The main reason that the Lord is saying this is because everything in His life today is vain. You read about that in the book of Ecclesiastes. Solomon knew that everything in his life was just vanity. It's here one moment, then it's gone the next. Like, for example, right, you got, a lot of our people, a lot of our brothers specifically, they want to be top NBA players. Like, that stuff is of the world first and foremost, and it's vain, right? You're just chasing a trophy at the end of the day, and you're chasing, right, a worldly name. Right, none of that go back to the Most High God. Right, even women today, right, they got their careers, they want to get degrees and things of that nature. But then again, all that stuff is vain. Right, when you die, those things don't go with you. Like, those are not things that you will get when you get, to the third heaven. You know what I'm saying? Or when the Lord come back and bring heaven here on earth. Like, you're not going to be rewarded by having a degree or winning an NBA championship or certain other things in His life today. You know what I'm saying? So through the Spirit and part of the Most High, the Lord is letting us know, love not the world. And I'm not saying it's a bad thing to get a degree or, be a basketball player or anything like that. I'm not saying that, but I am saying you don't want to put your heart into those things because it's vanity at the end of the day. You don't want to love those things more than the Most High because it's just distractions, and it goes back to vanity. Right, so those are two examples, and there's many more examples. There's way more examples, right? So it says in 1 John 2 in verse 15, it says, love not the world, neither the things that are in the world, right? A lot of people in our, society today, they probably love, right, same-sex marriages and stuff like that. That's all folly, you know what I'm saying? And a lot of people, they don't understand that that's just vanity. You know what I'm saying? That's just the lust of the flesh that's going to perish when the Lord come back, A lot of more things, smoking weed, a lot of things. It's a lot of vain things that our people love, and it brings them into the world, and it separates them from the Most High God. So it says, love not the world, neither the things that are in the world. If any man love the world, the love of the Father is not in him. Right? So if you love the world and you love, right, certain vain things more than the Most High, the love of the Father is not in you. And that's just the harsh truth that the Most High has to let you know, because you can't be over here and over there. You know what I'm saying? Like you read about in Matthew chapter 6 and verse 24, right? You can't care about, this present life more than the life that's to come. You know what I'm saying? So through the Spirit, I want to keep going. It says in verse 16, for all that is in the world, the lust of the flesh and the lust of the eyes and the pride of life is not of the Father, but it is of the world. So these things are of the world, right? It's a lot of things that's of the world that can distract us and bring us into a vain life. Like, you know what I'm saying? And that's the thing, you know, we just wasted our whole life chasing these temporal things, and we lost the Most High in the process, you know? So it's not worth it, you know? So this video is going into vanity, vain things, etc., 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 that can lead you away from the Most High, right? So in verse 7, it says, in verse 17, it says, and the world passeth away, and the lust thereof, but he that doeth the will of God abideth forever. So the Lord is letting us know that the world is going to pass away. This life that's vain, right, it's going to pass away. No matter what accomplishments that you probably achieved in this life, right, those things are going to pass away, right? Everything is going to pass away, meaning everything is going to perish. The Lord is going to destroy everything. You know what I'm saying? So through the Spirit, either you want everlasting life in the future by throwing away your life right now and letting the vain things go, right, and stop focusing on those things more than the Most High, or you're going to be, you know, distracted with vain things, achieve the things that you can right now, and then in the future when the Lord come back, you're going to perish forever. You know what I'm saying? So it's really up to you. Do you want to have a life of vanity, right, and follow after vain things and make vanity your God, or do you want the Most High to be your God and achieve righteousness at the end, right? So it's up to you. You know what I'm saying? And I know a lot of people that that struggle with, you know, vain things. Sometimes I do it as well. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes I focus on the cares of this life more, right, than my studies with the scriptures and stuff like that, because it's easier for us to go into the ways of, oh, how I'm gonna pay this, how I'm gonna do this, what should I do in the next 5 days, or what do I want my career to be as. It's easy for us to focus on them things right now because it's here right now, right? But then again, we got to switch that mindset of, you know, being more attractive to the Bible more. Like we gotta switch our mindset, stop focusing on the cares of this life. You know, I know it's easy to focus on those things because it's here right now. It's like we going through this right now type stuff. But then again, we got to understand the cares of this life, that stuff is going to perish. It's all vanity at the end of the day, right? We need to focus on the Bible, the scriptures, right? The Lord, right? The Holy One, right? Because he's here forever, right? He's the Ancient of Days, you know, and he the only one that can give us, right, the career or this and that and this, you know what I'm saying, an everlasting life. So through the Spirit, let's throw away all the vanity, all the vain stuff. Like, let's stop putting that before the Most High God. Right, let's go to the book of Exodus, chapters 20 and verse number 1. Right? Don't let vain stuff and don't let this life distract you from the relationship that you have with the Most High. So this Exodus chapters 20 and verse number 1. Right? Exodus chapters 20 and verse 1. And it says, and God spake all these words, saying, I am the Lord thy God, which have brought thee out of the land of Egypt, out of the house of bondage. Thou shalt have no other gods before me. Thou shalt not make unto thee any graven image or any likeness of anything that is in heaven above, or that is in earth beneath, or that is in the water under the earth. So through the Spirit, you know, the Most High is letting us know you don't want to serve anything else but him, because everything else is vain. You know what I'm saying? You don't want to serve anything else but the Most High. You know, everything else is vain, right? So through the Spirit, we got to remember that. We got to remember that this life is just vanity, right? This life is just vanity. So now I want to go to the book, right, of 2 Kings. Bear with me. 2 Kings chapter 17 and verse 15. Right? This life is vanity, right? The things that you're stressing about right now, right? Getting your phone fixed, right? I don't know what it is that you're stressing over. But then again, hey, it's vanity at the end of the day, right? You're stressing over something right now that the Lord is going to fix in the near future. And that's the thing, you know, you go look back like, dang, why was I stressing over that? The overall process of me stressing over that was just vanity. It was vain. It was a waste of my time. So through the Spirit, don't move like that, right? Things might be wacky and everything might be all over the place right now. But then again, it's vain and it's vanity for you to stress over those things, right? It'll just be a waste of time. So through the Spirit, this is the book of 2 Kings chapter 17 and verse 15. It says, and they rejected his statutes and his covenant that he made with their fathers, and his testimonies which he testified against them. And they followed vanity, right, and became vain, and went after the heathen that were round about them, right? And a lot of our people, aka the Israelites, the so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, and a lot of people today, right, they really despise the Most High, right? To follow after these nations today, to follow after, right, the heathen that the Most High placed over us, right? These are the nations that we see. We see the Arabs, they got their own gas stations. We see the so-called white man, he got a whole bunch of corporations, Walmart, Target, all types of stuff. You know what I'm saying? These other nations, Chinese people, they got China lands, they got Chinatowns in Michigan and stuff like that. It's a lot of stuff that these other nations have. And it's like, we get attracted to those things more than a covenant that our fathers made with the Most High. Like, we forget about the Most High, right? We forget about the Most High, and we try to be like the people around us. We see these other nations with degrees, doctors, this, that, and the third, and all this other stuff. Next thing you know, right, we get, covetous, and we begin to be like them. The next thing you know, we become vain. And next thing you know, we become more carnal, and we stop being spiritual, and we forget about the Most High, right? So I want to read this again. This is the book of 2 Kings, chapter 17, verse 15. It says, and they rejected his statutes and his covenant, right, that he made with their fathers, right, and his testimonies which he testified against them. So a lot of us reject the statutes of the Most High. We don't study no more. We don't care about the Most High judgments. We don't fear the Most High anymore, right? We don't care about the covenant that our fathers made with the Most High, right? We don't take the Bible serious anymore, right? We not attracted to the Most High, right? We think that his word is boring to study every day, right? We think that praying is wacky, and we don't want to do it, every day for the Most High. We literally forget about the Most High and reject the Lord every day. That every day and every time that we, do our own thing and focus on vanity, right? And through the Spirit, it says, and they rejected his statutes and his covenant that he made with their fathers, and his testimonies, which he testified against them. And they followed vanity and became vain, and went after the heathen that were round about them, concerning whom the Lord had charged them, that they should not do like them. The Lord told us we shouldn't be like the heathen that is round about us. We should not be like the heathen that is round about us, right? The things that they doing, we shouldn't be doing those things. Like you read about in Matthew, and let's believe it's Matthew chapter 6. The Lord tells us the heathen, they focus on carnal things. But us, we are a spiritual nation of people to the point where we don't focus on that type of stuff. If the Lord give it to us, right, he give it to us. But then again, our main focus is not on that. So through the Spirit, I want to go there. This is the book of Matthew, chapter 6, in verse, I believe it's verse 30 on down, right? Because these other nations, they focus on vanity. They care about vain things. They care about their credit score. They care about this. They care about the treasures, right, that they can put forth in this life. Us, as a nation of people that follow the Most High God, we focus on the treasures that we can get in heaven, right? Because those things not vanity. A thief can't come forth and steal those things from the third heaven, from the Most High, right? You will be a fool to think that some people can plot on the Most High and steal the treasures that you got stored up there in the third heavens. And they can do that here on this earth. It's easy. It's easy for people to break in your house and steal the things that you got right now, right? Because it's vanity. It's here one moment, then it's gone the next, right? It's vanity, right? So through the Spirit, you got to understand that everything, in this life today is just vanity, right? So I want to bring out Matthew chapter 6 and verse, bear with me. Where do I want to go? It's Matthew chapter 6 and verse 29. It says, and yet I say unto you that even Solomon in all his glory was not arrayed like one of these. Wherefore, if God so clothed the grass of the field, which today is, and tomorrow is cast into the oven, shall he not much more clothe you, O ye of little faith? Therefore take no thought, saying, what shall we eat? Or what shall we drink? Or wherewithal shall we be clothed? Right? For all these things do the Gentiles seek. So the Gentiles, they seek after the basic resources that they need, because they don't have the Most High. They don't have the Most High God protecting them, defending them, etc., etc. You know, the Gentiles, they wake up every morning and they stress about certain things that pertains to the flesh because the Most High does not provide those things for them. And that's plain upon tables. But us, we can't be like the Gentiles. It's time for us to stop focusing on vanity, right, more than the Most High. The Lord said this right here, you know, in verse 33, it says, but seek ye first the kingdom of God and his righteousness, and all these things shall be added unto you. So the Lord, right, he letting us know, hey, you need to just stay focused on the kingdom. You need to let the vanity go. You need to stay focused on the kingdom, and everything, right, that the Gentiles seek, hey, that's going to be provided unto you right naturally. So don't be like them, right? So through the Spirit, this lesson is going into vanity, right, and vain things that we need to stop focusing on, right? It's very vain for you to stress out over some clothes, right? Stress out over something that you're going to eat, or, you know, what you're thinking about eating, etc., etc., or how you know, going to survive in the future, right? This world, they push, like in the school systems, for example, they push stress upon our nation of people so much to the point where we think like, damn, we got to have everything, right, set up right now. Like, we be lost. As soon as we get out of high school, we lost as hell. We don't want to do it. We don't know what to do within our careers, right? And next thing you know, you got everybody, hey, you should do this, you should do that. Hey, focus on this, focus on that. Yo, the Lord just said, follow after the kingdom, right? Follow after the kingdom, and everything will be added unto you, right? Now, I'm not saying this to like steer people into being foolish and not focus on bettering themselves and bettering their life. But then again, I'm saying this to let you know, lean upon the Most High. If you don't know what you're going to do with yourself, hey, lean upon the Most High. Follow after the kingdom. You know what I'm saying? And the Lord is going to open up your mindset to be inspired to do something that you really love. And that's thing you know, right? You're going to look back and be like, dang, the Most High really led me where I need to be at, right? So through the Spirit and power of the Most High, I want to go to Job chapter 7 and verse number 3, right? A lot of parents, they do that as well. A lot of parents, they do that as well. They would, you know, put stress upon their child. Hey, you got to do this. You got to focus on this. You got to focus on this. You got to focus on that. It shouldn't be like that. It should be, yo, you got to focus on the Lord. Ask the Lord to reveal and manifest the things that you should be doing here on this earth. Ask the Lord, you know, what's your office and where you should go at in this thing. A lot of parents need to push that more instead of pushing all these carnal things upon their children as they grow, right? So, you know, this Job chapter 7 and verse 3, it says this. In Job chapter 7 and verse 3, it says, so am I made to possess months of vanity, and wearisome nights are appointed to me, right? So through the Spirit, Job is letting us know that, hey, we possess monthly, you know, monthly vanities, right? And what that means is our life is vanity, right? Literally, our life is vanity. We only live like 70 years, 80 years at the most, or 90, 100, 102 at the most, I would say. You know what I'm saying? And you really got to be extremely healthy to do those things, to achieve that. But overall, right, Job is just testifying that this life is also vanity. Job went through a lot of stuff. He was one of the mightiest men of the East. You know, Solomon wasn't the only rich dude in the scriptures, and we got to understand that. So let's go to Job chapters 1 and verse number, I want to get the precept real quick. Job chapters 1 and verse 1. It says, there was a man in the land of Uz, right? This is going into Job. It says, whose name was Job. And that man was perfect and upright, and one that feared God and eschewed evil. So Job, he feared the Most High. He was walking into the ways of being righteous. Verse 2, it says, and there were born unto him 7 sons and 3 daughters. His substance also was 7,000 sheep and 3,000 camels and 500 yokes of oxen and 500 she-asses in a very great household. So that this man was the greatest of all the men of the East. So Job, he was literally the greatest of all the men of the East back in his time, right? He had everything that everybody lusts after today. Everybody wake up and stress about having a mighty household. Everybody wake up and stress about, right, having a fancy cars, this, that, whoop, whoop. Hey, Job, he had all of that. And guess what he said? He said it's all vanity. So for you to stress out about these things, to achieve certain things and stuff like that pertaining to this life, yo, that's folly. Right? Because it's vanity at the end of the day. And you're just wasting your time. Right? So, like this precept said, hey, Job, And he was one of the mightiest men of the East, right? He was rich, just like our forefather Solomon, King David, Abraham, Lot, etc., etc. Lot, he had a lot of stuff. I believe that was in Genesis chapters 13. Lot, he was rich as well. The Lord enriched our forefathers, and they still said everything that they have in this life, and life was just vanity, because it's here one moment, then it's gone the next, right? So let's go to the book of Job. Let's go back to Job chapter 7 and verse 3 again. It says in Job chapter 7 and verse 3, so am I made to possess months of vanity, and wearisome nights are appointed to me, right? Wearisome nights are appointed to me. Now let's jump down to verse, see where I want to go, bear with me. Right, is it verse 16? Let's go to verse 16. It says, at verse 16, it says, I loathe it, I would not live always. Let me alone, for my days are vanity, right? So our days are vanity. That's Job chapter 7 and verse 3 and Job chapter 7 and verse 16. Job knew his days were vanity. Job was richer than anybody you can think of in today's time, right? Richer than Kanye West, right? To have 1,000 sheep, 7,000 sheep. Hey, Kanye West ain't got these things, right? Kanye West ain't got these things. Oprah don't have the same things as Job, nor Solomon in this thing, right? So I bring this all out to say, hey, yo, these are the richest men on earth, and everything was vanity. You know, everything was vanity. Because at the end of the day, you still got to go through those trials and tribulations to prove yourself to the Most High God. You're still going to have to go through certain things, right? The richer you get in this society, hey, that's the more problems you got to deal with. You know, you got people hitting you up, all that stuff. These people that's in, you know, on the top of the totem pole, however they would say, you know, these rich people today, these celebrities today, yo, they would rather, most likely, a lot of them would rather to have a life, right, to where they can follow the Most High and be regular humans. Because the second that they made it, right, it's a lot more stuff that they got to deal with, right? And I bet you they look at their life as vanity, right? Because they got to go through so much. So you might as well just stop stressing right now. You might as well just let the vanity go, right, and just let the Most High steer the wheel, right? Focus on what you got to do, aka focus on the kingdom of heaven, right? And then whatever the Most High put it in your spirit to do, outside of that, that's righteous, hey, do it. And continue to focus on the Most High first and foremost, right? So let's go to the book of Psalms, chapter 12 and verse 2, right? Psalms, chapter 12 and verse 2. I'm going to start with verse 1. It says, in the Lord put I my trust. How say ye to my soul, flee as a bird to your mountain? For lo, the wicked bend their bow, and they make ready the arrow upon the string, that they may privately shoot at the upright in heart. Right? Let me see. I'm at Psalms 11. Salakia, bear with me. Psalms 11 and verse 1. That's a good precept. Put your trust in the Most High. It says, in the Lord put I my trust. Right? So put your trust in the Most High. But I want Psalms chapter 12. Salakia. Psalms chapter 12 and verse 1. It says, help, Lord, for the godly man seizeth, for the faithful fell from among the children of men. A lot of people that sincerely love the Most High, y'all really get sucked away by this life and the cares of it. The world take a lot of people, right, that sincerely love the Most High, and they take those people and they drag them away from the Most High. There was a lot of faithful brothers that I've noticed and faithful sisters that I've noticed that followed the Most High, right, with a loving mind and with a loving spirit, right? And the next thing you know, I looked up the next moment and they was gone. They couldn't endure, right? The vanities of this life captured them, and next thing you know, they gone. So, hey, we got to really stay focused on righteousness. Stay focused on righteousness, and the Lord is going to add the carnal things that you need. You know what I'm saying? So Psalm chapter 12 and verse 1 again, it says, help, Lord, for the godly man seizeth, for the faithful man fell from among the children of men. The children of men is the heathen, right? It's a lot of our faithful people that got sucked away with the vanities of the children of men. Now they want to party. Now they want to make vain memories in this thing, right? With parties, drinking and turning up and going on yachts, going to Miami, doing this and doing that. Those things are vain. It's vain. I'm not saying you can't, have a good time, because the Lord says, defraud not thyself with a good day. Have a good time. Be not righteous over much. But then again, don't leave the Most High to just do that. You know what I'm saying? Because next thing you know, hey, yo, you giving yourself over to vanity and you failing in the eyes of the Most High to follow the children of men. So it says in verse 2, they speak vanity, every one with his neighbor. With flattering lips and with a double heart do they speak. Right? So also, a lot of people, like a lot of us, we get caught up with speaking vanity. We got to watch that as well. Right? We got to stop speaking about vain things. Right? You got to fix your mindset. Stop always talking about, oh, 12 years from now, I want to put my baby in college. Right? I want to put my baby in college. She getting all A's. Whoop-de-whoop. All this other stuff. I want to put up trust funds. And like, it's okay to think about these things, but every day you should not be thinking about these things. Oh, I want to get a new car. I want to get my credit score up to 800. Right? I want to do this. I want to do that. Right? Stop speaking vain things all the time. Right? Because at the end of the day, right, that's you going back, right, to thinking like the people in the world. It's time to start thinking. Thinking like Christ in this thing, right? Because your thoughts become the things that you speak of, and then they become the things that you do with. So through the Spirit, stop speaking vain things. It's not wise to always meditate or just think about, vain things, right? Or you're going to live a life of vanity, right? So this Psalm chapter 24 and verse number 4, it says, he that have clean hands and a pure heart, who have not lifted up his soul unto vanity, nor sworn deceitfully, he shall receive the blessing from the Lord and the righteousness from the God of his salvation. And that's a mighty precept. It literally just said, he that have a pure heart, meaning a brother or a sister that goes into the ways of waking up early in the morning time. Right? I'm not saying you literally got to wake up early, but you wake up early, right? You think about the Most High first thing first. You're not focused on your phone. That's vanity, right? You don't care about, right, carnal things, materialistic things. That's all vanity. So you wake up, and next thing you know, you pray to the Most High, you repent for your sins, and you ask the Lord to lead you through an inspiring day of righteousness, and ask him to open up, your mind to more wisdom and knowledge that he can spew unto you, right? Hey, that person right there, that person, he have a pure heart. That person will be blessed by the Most High, right? That person will be blessed by the Most High if they, because they not focused on vanity. Salakia. You know what I'm saying? So through the Spirit, it says, he that have clean hands and a pure heart, it says, and he that have not lifted up his soul unto vanity, nor sworn deceitfully, he shall receive the blessing from the Lord and righteousness from the God of his salvation. Right? A lot of people think that it's the universe that blessed them in this thing. No, it's the Most High that bless you. If you stay focused on what you have to do, the Lord is going to bless you. You're going to be mighty like Job. You're going to go through trials and tribulations so the Lord can prove your faith. But then again, at the end of the day, if you stay down, right, and you don't give your soul over to vanity, hey, the Lord is going to bless you. The Lord is going to bless you, right? I didn't say it. The Lord said that. You know what I'm saying? So I want to go to the book of Sirach real quick. I want to get this precept because it was, I think this was like it's a quick little testimony. I was, I'm led to believe I was watching a video or something like that. Then I zoned out mentally, not talking about, them passing out or nothing like that. But I zoned out. I started having carnal thoughts. And I was thinking like, dang, I got a daughter, I got a rib, whoop-de-whoop. What can I do to like better myself? And, what I'm saying? How can I like achieve more stuff so I can, make sure they good at the end of the day? You know what I'm saying? And next thing you know, the Most High, he just led me, like he just cut all those thoughts off. He led me to Sirach, right, chapters 11 and verse 10. And I was like, whoa, right? Because it connected exactly with the things that I was like kind of stressing out over. If you got a household with a rib and some kids, bro, most likely you're going to be having a lot of thoughts of how can I get better? What can I do? You know what I'm saying? And you kind of stressing, and because you don't want to lead your household into the wrong path. So this is what the Lord revealed unto me. So I have to reveal it unto y'all. So this is Sirach chapters 11 and verse 10, right? It literally said this. It says, my son, men do not with many matters. So off back, I'm cut. I'm like, yo, it's the Most High speaking to me. It literally said, my son, men do not in many matters, right? Like you read about in Sirach chapter 6 and verse 2. The Lord tells you, hey, get about your mind, right? Stop dwelling in your mind. Stop thinking about the things that your mind bring forth in this thing, right? It's okay to meditate, but stop being there 24/7, live in reality and serve the Most High, right? So verse 10, it says, my son, men do not with many matters, for if thou men do much, thou shalt not be innocent. And if thou follow after, thou shalt not obtain, neither shalt thou escape by fleeing. So the Lord was basically revealing unto me like, yo, stop thinking about these things. Stop thinking about all these vain things, right? Because I got you at the end of the day, right? Because a lot of our people, they get caught up with those type of thoughts. And that's the thing, you know, they want to make haste to achieve certain things. They want to make haste to get better, right? They don't want to pace themselves with the Most High, right? And that's the thing, you know, they make haste into certain things, and that's the thing, you know, they in sin and they won't be innocent. But the Lord, he was letting us know, or letting me know like, yo, stop meddling much with these things, right? And you're going to obtain it. Take your time, be patient, right? Do what you got to do, and you're going to obtain the things that you need to obtain. Playing upon tables, right? In verse 11, it says, there is one that laboreth and taketh pains and maketh haste, and is so much the more behind, right? So, hey, you can go after vanity right now, right? You probably would deceive yourself into thinking like, I'm going hard, right? Whoop-de-whoop, I'm working, I'm doing this, I'm doing that, I'm trying to get it, you know what I'm saying? But then again, hey, you're going to be the much more behind, because a lot of people, they say, hey, to hell with the Most High, I'm about to do my thing, and I'm about to damn get rich right now. You know what I'm saying? I'm about to better myself right now. I got to get it right now. And that's the thing, you know, they achieving those things, they're achieving that vanity, but then again, they're the much more behind because they left the Most High behind. You know what I'm saying? So don't get caught up in your thoughts. Don't men do much, right? Because that's how Satan is going to seduce you to do evil. That's the thing, you know, you go leave the Most High. You're going to achieve the things that you want, the vanity, but then again, you're going to be much more behind, right? Because you ain't got righteousness on your side. So it says in verse 12, again, there is another that is slow and hath need of help, wanting ability and full of poverty. Me personally, hey, this is me right here, right? Hey, it takes me a time to get right. You know what I'm saying? It takes me a time to, right, achieve certain things. You know what I'm saying? I'm like a turtle at certain things. I can admit that, right? Walking in this walk, it takes me time to, you know, get certain things right and do certain things, you know, the right way to get better in this thing. But, you know, then again, the Lord said, again, there is another that is slow in need of help, wanting ability, right? You want to get better in this thing, and full of poverty. And it says, yet the eye of the Lord looketh upon him for good, and set him up from his low estate, right? So the Lord, hey, he literally cut me up, because I was meddling much in many matters. I was thinking like, damn, like I ain't got it all right now. It's taking all day for me to achieve certain things. And as soon as I get close to achieving something, I get set right back behind. I was thinking like that. Then next thing you know, the Lord literally cut me with these precepts. And I was like, yo, the Most High, he exists. It's plain upon tables, right? It's plain upon tables, right? So it says, I want to read that again, because this is a mighty precept. It says again, I'm at verse 12. It says, again, there is another that is slow and have need of help, wanting ability and full of poverty. Yet the eye of the Lord looketh upon him for good, and set him up from his low estate, and lifted up his head from misery, so that many that saw it marveled at him. You know, and it says, prosperity and adversity, life and death, poverty and riches come of the Lord, right? So through the spirit and power of the Most High, the Lord was letting us know, hey, yo, all these things, they come from me. I can kill you. I can, you know, make a new life type stuff. I can make you rich. I can make you poor. All these things come from me at the end of the day, right? So, you know, through the spirit and power of the Most High, right, the Lord, you know, he revealed that to me that day, that I was kind of stressing and overthinking and stuff. And I was like, whoa, like that's crazy. It was crazy. I ain't gonna lie. It was crazy. I'm like, yo, like, how do he know like exactly what I'm thinking? And It connects back to the precepts. Like, I was just the cure of me stressing and stuff. So I always think about that precept, and I always think about that mini testimony the Most High kind of put me through. So with that being said, I want to go to the book of Psalms, chapters 39 and verse 5. Right, this is the book of Psalms, chapters 39 and verse 5. Right, and that's how you get blessed in this thing. When you stop focusing on the things that you need and want, right, and just let the Most High give it to you naturally, right, because you're going to enjoy that blessing, right, more than, anything, for real. You know what I'm saying? You're going to enjoy that blessing of you being patient, doing your thing, and then it's just coming out the blue, and you're just like, whoa, like, damn. You know what I'm saying? Then you look back and be like, dang, I did do all that work, right, with the righteousness of the Most High. Hey, this is the Lord blessing me. So through the Spirit, it helps you build up your faith and everything. So I want to go to Psalm chapters 39 and verse 5, and this might be the last precept real quick because my phone is dying. I don't know where that charger went. I want to bring out all of this. I got more. I might do a part 2, but dang, so much more. This is Psalm chapters 39 and verse 5. It says, "Behold, thou hast made my days as an handbreadth, and mine age is as nothing before thee. Verily, every man at his best estate is altogether vanity." So, hey, King David, we already know who King David is. The Lord, he blessed him with strength, all types of stuff to beat down the heathen. Hey, King David had a great name. He had the looks, he had the wisdom and knowledge. He destroyed Goliath through the power of the Most High. Hey, and this is the same brother that's saying, right, this life is just nothing but vanity, right? This life is nothing but vanity. So stop focusing on the things you can get here. Focus on righteousness. And the Lord, he'll just give it to you. You know what I'm saying? So with that being said, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to the Most High, right? Stay focused on righteousness, right? Stay focused on the kingdom of heaven, right? Build your treasures up there in the third heavens instead of this life here, right? And when you do those things, the Lord is going to naturally take care of you. He's going to help you out. He's going to steer you into the right direction, right? Because you're focused on him. The Lord blessed the righteous. He cursed the wicked. You know what I'm saying? The Lord he go send Satan to bless you. Right? If you focused on vanity too much, he go send Satan to bless you. Then that's the you go get that blessing from Satan, right? Whether you're a woman or a man. And that's the hey, Satan going to deceive you. You might get a reprobate mind, and you go be in the world. Then when the Lord come back, you go be destroyed. So that's that. I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to the Most High Yahweh in the name of his only begotten Son. And stay focused on righteousness, right? And leave vanity alone in this thing, right? So with that being said, hey, shalom, shalom, shalom. Stay on fire. Peace.